Hey, thanks for joining me. This is Glenn Dane. What I want to do is do things a little bit differently than I have last year. And this is the first lecture in the series for the 6700, 6193. And we're going to, as I say, mix it up just a little bit. Uh, Contact information is shown down there. And we'll go back to that in a little bit. But what I really want to do this time, hope I'm not being overly ambitious, but develop material that will really become sort of the prototype for a nationwide platform, and you'll see sort of what that looks like using this great group of teachers that you all represent here in Central Ohio. And I really want to bring your important voices into the process. I don't want to waste your time. I know everybody here is busy. Everybody's got other things to do, including myself. And I want to keep all of this material very modular so people can pick and choose and use just what they want and just what they need. And those are the goals. So let me tell you how I hope to do this, and I'm looking forward to getting the help of this this group that we have assembled in doing this. So what I want to do is keep all of these lectures fairly short, 10 minutes or so, again, so things can be pick and choose what you need. There will be a lot of little lectures. I won't expect you to watch everything. I want you to vet them and understand, tell me how you can use them in your classroom situations. Tell me how they may or may not work. And the other thing is this is really an administrative lecture, and I'm going to try to minimize this, keep this different from the content side with the idea that we can take the content piece and roll this out to the greater world without getting into the minutia of how we're running this particular course. And you'll see that'll be played through the next couple lectures here. So here's what we're trying to do. This is what I'm really struggling with quite a bit. We use the movies like you're watching right now. I'm going to be posting those to YouTube and making a YouTube channel. That'll be part of it. And for now, the primary tool is going to be email. I'll be emailing you assignments and getting things back from you. So that'll be what we'll be doing for now. We do need sort of a moderated discussion forum. I think I may be using Google Groups for that. I'm trying to move away from the Carmen system for the simple reason that I really want everything to be very open source. Turns out Box is a very nice way of putting content up, and that's going to be my primary way for putting content up for now, like the lecture slides, any readings that are available digitally, and all of that. Google Docs and Forms, I can make very nice quizzes with. You've kind of used that, most of you already. There's a few people I'm still trying to track down. And then Carmen, I'm going to use for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's really for grades, and I will keep your grades up in Carmen. So the main things I really want to do is YouTube for the movies, Box for materials, Google Groups for discussion, or something like that. And if any of you are a little more Web 2.0 savvy than I am, I welcome your help. I'm going to get some student help as well on this. Bert Liu will be my go-to guy on that, I think. So again, Carmen, I think most everyone has been in here already. Last year, we used it for a lot of things. I'm not going to use it for content, lectures, discussion, quizzes. All of those will be handled differently, as I've discussed. But we will be using it for grades, so get ready for that. Speaking of grades, here's what we're going to do, and remember the big thing that I've promised you is number one, we go from now till April 26th. There's a lot of time left in the semester. We will all be at COSI on February 12th, and we can talk about and negotiate an approach you want to do. We've already polled you. There's people that want, a few people want to do content development. I can grade you entirely on content development. I also want to develop some of our own content, send that out into the world, and that's another way you can be graded. So those of you who will be working through content that I develop, here's the way we're going to do things. I should really say every module. Module is what that's supposed to say. You can get up to 10 points for answering the week's questions. They're generally going to be simple. Did you understand the material? Is this something you can use in your classroom? Do you have any suggestions on how we can make it better? Are there any things that we should link this to in particular? And if you do really link other good stuff to it or have your own content, you can get mucho extra credit. Want everybody to do well. You basically get 10 points. There'll be something like a dozen modules. So to get an A, there'll be plenty of opportunity to get up to 100 points. B will be if you get up to 50 points. C if you participate in any meaningful way. Again, I want everybody to do well, and I would like to be able to justifiably give everybody in the class an A, and that would be absolutely great by me. So again, this is Glenn. I'm the lead instructor on this. Allison Palasic has stepped up and wants to help significantly too. She has developed and put onto the web a lot of her content for the 2010 course. 2010 is material science for engineering students. It's probably a little bit beyond what a number of you want to do, but that's up. If you want to go deep into any topic, Allison is making her content available. We'll be linking to a lot of that. Actually, in this course is depth material. And then Bert is a graduate student that works with me, and he's flat out awesome also. And Bert will be working on web support and trying to make all of this so it's publishable. So again, please email to me whenever, if you have any questions, feel free to pick up the phone. If there's anything that requires a group discussion, I'm going to try to get that functionality up soon, hopefully within a week, maybe through Google Groups, maybe through something else. But if it's a broad thing, please do it through the mechanism that we'll have up for that. So this is the plan for the series. This right now is an overview. The first real content we'll get into is properties of materials. That'll be fairly quantitative. Then we'll get into materials in the past and future. Then we'll go on and talk about what materials are: metals, ceramics, polymers, and composites. Talk about them broadly. Then talk about their structure. Talk about how their structure can change. Example, going from ice to water as a phase transformation. Talk about how we can purposely change structure to engineer properties. Talk about manufacturing. Materials flows, which is really an important area. All the stuff that we use comes out of the ground usually, and sometimes ends back in the ground as in landfills. There's a lot we can do there that links to sustainability and design. We'll talk about that. And then a couple things we haven't done so much in the past that I think are really important we're going to focus on. One is we're going to talk about career paths. And again, in universities, we often think people should naturally go on to get a bachelor's degree and so forth, but there's actually a huge number of alternate career paths that don't necessarily involve full bachelor's degrees. We want to talk about that whole spectrum and how people can have really rewarding and worthwhile and productive careers, not necessarily with that, but engaging the STEM disciplines. And then we'll also talk about using this material with respect to curricula and standards, and we'll focus on that also and talk about how these modules, and that's the idea of putting modules together, how they can fit together to accomplish that. For each unit, what we're going to do is manage this, and I think for now the go-to tool will be Box, but I think there will be other ways we can do this. There will be a short overview lecture. Again, this is going to be about 15 minutes or so. And then we'll have other professional development material. It might be other movies by me, readings we can put up, PowerPoints, any of that. We'll talk about how this can be aligned with standards and classroom usage. Some of that will be discussion. Some of that might be documents that are put up. Again, the ASM content, the labs, demonstration, and experiential units, that'll be featured in that, and we'll get a lot of that ASM content up. Movies and handouts, and there's some great stuff that has been put together. Todd Bolenbaugh's Math Sci Teacher is a good resource. Loads of other good stuff. George Mailer has done some nice things. There's handouts that go with that. And then we'll also give you things that you could use within your classrooms, quizzes, tests. We're going to go more towards hands-on than traditional worksheets, but content you can use with your students. And I'm hoping that a lot of you folks have stuff that we can use to populate this, and that's part of what we want to do with this, is take the content that you've developed and give you credit for understanding where it fits and putting it up there. That's the idea. So, lastly, there's other potential gradable items and elements. Let me know what they are. Discussions in Carmen, Google Plus discussions in Hangouts. You suggest. I'm very much learning as we go. This is my first venture really into social media space, but I think we have to do it. And again, very open to suggestion. And then lastly, I just want to end on a note of appreciation. I'll lead this unit, but again, I'm standing on the shoulders of a huge number of people who've contributed to this. There's our MSP program team from the state of Ohio, which not only gives us funding from the state of Ohio, but I get to work with some great people. ASM Materials Education Foundation, I should say Materials Education Foundation, and some people have been particularly prolific with the contents. Tom Stobie got this going years ago. Andy Neidham and Debbie Goodwin have been doing this a lot lately, and I'm hoping Andy is helping quite a bit this time through. We'll see how much of his time I can get. Usually he's more than generous. And then you all people in your teachers help to pull your content in. My local colleagues at Ohio State who've developed what used to be called 205 and it's now called 2010. And we've also got some support from the Honda Partnership Program. So that's it. This is hopefully about 10 minutes of lecture. That's what they will all be. And after this, we're going to get more into the content. Because we're breaking up the admin and the content part, there may be a little bit of overlap, but not too much. Most importantly, again, February 12th, we'll have a real discussion at COSI. So that's look forward to seeing you there, but I want to get things up and going a little bit ahead of time. That's it. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks.